Welcome guys, sorry it's taking me so long. I am finally set up at my new house. I still gotta make another trip, but hey, that's not a big deal. I'm taking a break for now, staying at the house, chilling and relaxing, and just enjoying myself a little bit before I had to head back and do a lot more work. But until then, I'm gonna get a lot of stuff done. I look forward to this. I've got a lot of things scheduled and ready to go. All I gotta do is record it and do a bunch of other crap, but at least I got the stories together. So thanks for being patient with me. But I got it together. So here we go. Hello everyone, my Lady Saber here, with the last installment of Sir Sam the Chivalrous. Trigger warning, this tale will encompass 3 straight days of interaction with Sir Sam, and this is extremely long. So let's introduce the characters. Player 1, Lady Saber, House of Snark. Very enthusiastic about backpacking. I just joined a local venture crew at the beginning of the month. Similar to fencing practice, appearances take a back seat while in the wilderness. Makeup would just be something else to carry around. So I pull my hair up into a tight bun and ponytail to keep it from getting disgusting. My cute outfits get traded for athletic shirts and cargo pants. Player number 2. My boyfriend John. He is also an outdoors person. He is the one who invited me to the first venture meeting. Has a bone-dry sense of humor, and he's much better than I am at keeping a straight face. Player number 3, Sir Sam the Chivalrous, the whitest knight, trademark, in all of Westeros. Has likely never spent more than 3 consecutive hours outside. He wears a baggy long-sleeve shirt, a wide-brimmed blue fedora, brand new hiking shoes, and thick cargo shorts. Finally, one of his clothes articles is appropriate for the occasion. In case you've forgotten, Sam has a high-pitched whiny voice, which he often employs as the alpha male to get what he wants. Minor player, but important. Jamie, the venture crew president. He's a year or 2 older than John and I, and he's a pretty average dude. He has a lot of backpacking experience. He's a fantastic leader, and most importantly, he's got a cool head. Friday evening, my host mother drops me off at the church parking lot. Most who are going to attend are already present. I turn in a check to pay for the trip and the rest of my medical forms. There are 14 people attending, 4 of them being adults, all evenly split between genders. I was only barely able to attend this trip. I didn't bring any of my backcountry gear to America, as I didn't have enough space on my flight, and I didn't think that I would have any chance to go backpacking. I was wrong, and my real father, a real VIP, paid a stack to have my gear shipped. I still had to get some stove fuel and a few other things that you can't put in the mail. I had planned to be early, but I am one of the last to arrive. Everyone is gathered around a large plastic bin, reorganizing their packs. While we all have personal gear, clothes, sleeping bags, survival stuff, there is still a lot more to add. Items like tents, first aid kits, iodine tabs, a trowel, camping stoves, and our food. I'm examining some of the outdated crew gear. I decided to don my white armor and speak to Jamie.
Hey, Jamie? I don't want to sound rude, but a lot of this crew gear is really heavy.
Oh, hey Lady Saber. The stuff we have isn't the best, but it gets your job done. Don't worry, we split it up so that everybody gets equal weight.
I realized with annoyance that he lumped me in with Sir Sam. Here's my second chance at a first impression.
Yeah, I get that, but I have my own stuff that might work better than what we have.
Oh, really?
His tone was thick with skepticism.
The stove you have uses liquid fuel in a metal canister. Each one weighs about 1 kilo. The one I have uses butane fuel. I don't know how fast yours works, but I can boil water in about 5 minutes.
I've gotten his interest now.
I've heard of those. Can you show me?
I spend the next few minutes setting up the stove. The burner clicks into place. I light the gas to reveal a blue flame, and I've drawn a crowd.
That's awesome. What else you got?
That feels good when you prove that you know your stuff. By the end of my show and tell, I've replaced 2 of their heavy stoves with mine, and their heavy metal trowel with a high-density plastic one. I carry those things, plus a bear bag and other essentials. My 3-person tent group split up the components. I carry the pole and stakes. As we move on to repack our food, Sam's minivan crests the hill. A lot like a carnival roller coaster of dubious safety. He's in the driver's seat, with Mrs. Sam on the passenger side. As they get closer, it's easier to see how frustrated his expression is. His mom points for him to turn left. Sam bangs the steering wheel in frustration, just like a corporate dad in traffic. I can see by the way his mouth is moving that he's raising his voice. They park crooked near the group. Sam squirms out of the driver's seat and opens the back door, producing a totally loaded backpack. He shoulders it, hops, and starts clipping all the buckles into place. Once he's sufficiently mummified, he strides toward me, tipping his fedora in greeting.
Hey, Lady Saber! Looks like I'm right on time.
Yeah, I guess. We're splitting up our gear, so make sure you're checked in.
Sam bobs away happily, and I return to repack our food. The rations we get are sealed in plastic. Each one contains enough for 2 people. John and I pair up for the eating group. I take Sunday's breakfast and Saturday's dinner. To repack them, I open the bag, take out the original main course, and replace it with the one that the crew provided. With that, my bag is ready to go, along with most everyone else. Of course, Sam is not quite there yet. He was on the attendee list, so his crew gear and food was already set aside. Upon discovering this, however, my gentle sir is most displeased.
Hey, Jamie, what's all this junk?
That's your gear, Sam.
No. My stuff is right here.
He jerks a thumb over his shoulder.
Yes, but there's other stuff that you have to carry for the crew. And your food. Stuff we all need to use.
Sam empties his first flagon of wine.
But no one else is carrying extra stuff. Why do I have to do it?
Sam, we've already packed. Everyone's waiting for you.
Well, that gets him moving. He crams a coil of rope in first, and a first aid kit, while Jamie carefully goes over his pack.
Hey, Sam. I just wanted to go over some of your gear, okay?
Why?
Just to make sure you have everything.
I have everything I need, Jamie.
Great. This should go quick then.
Jamie rattles out his list of essentials, and Sam produces each item. After some rummaging, he has a smug grin. Now, I have to give credit where credit is due. Sam does his homework. It took me years to learn all about what to bring, what I need, not to mention buying it all. Sam, doubtlessly with the help of his mom, collected these items in less than a month. If neckbeards are good at anything, it's Googling. For the drive, we get assigned in cars. And guess who's in mine? Not Sam. God be praised. John and I ride together with Jamie and another girl that I was tenting with. After an hour of driving, we park at the campsite. We pile out of the car and gather ourselves. I, with everyone else, take off my Venture uniform shirt. We're required to wear them for the events, but they're not really practical or comfortable to wear during activities, so I start to unbutton my shirt, thus revealing my tank underneath. When I notice Sam watching me, he snaps his gaze to the side when I look up at him, but carefully returns when he thinks I'm not looking. My skin is crawling. So I finish changing on the other side of the car. With the sun sinking low, we strike out. John and I walk abreast, alternating between holding hands and punching each other. Sir Sam, sensing that his chivalry is needed to protect my lady and her honor, wedges himself between John and I. The trail might be wide enough for 2 or even 3 normal-sized humans, but with Sir Sam in the mix, John is forced to go off-roading. So John and I fell back behind Sam, so he slows down. So we pick up the pace, and thus the game of leap whale continues. This went on for about 2 kilometers. By the end, however, Sam is lagging further and further behind, until he's at the back of the group.
Hey, Jamie! Can I take a break?
He's breathing hard enough to stoke a fire, and sweating like he's been standing in one, despite the cool temperature.
Sure thing, Sam. $5 for everyone.
Jamie sets his watch as Sam unclips his pack, and he collapses in a heap on the ground. Everyone else still remains standing, with their packs on.
Sam, don't sit down. It's just a $5. You don't sit for a short break, Sam. It just makes it harder to keep going.
They argue about what one is supposed to do during a 5-minute break for the next 6 minutes, which is about as effective as reasoning with a stubborn box of pasta. Thankfully, Jamie has a cooler head than Sam. When it's time to go, Sam activates his passive-aggressive alpha male mode, taking forever to put his pack on. Watching him don it is a circus of its own. After a significant struggle and 3 people helping him, Sam finally gets back on his feet, and he's huffing and puffing. Before we've gone another half a kilometer, Sam starts complaining about his feet hurting.
Hey, Jamie, can we take a break?
That's not going to help your feet, Sam. We've got a long way to go to our campsite.
The crew is forced to match the pace of Sam's. He trails in the rear of the group, with the adults trying to give him a pep talk through every step. By the end of the 4 kilometers, snails are outrunning us. We are forced to take a 20-minute break so that Sam can catch his breath. It has gotten totally dark, but on we hike, at a crawl. At long last, we arrive at the campsite. As my tent mates and I start setting up the tent, Sam stumbles over.
Hey, Lady Saber, want a tent together?
What?
Do you want a tent with me? I have, the tent parts and you have the poles.
No, Sam. Girls and guys can't tent together. Your tent mate is on your side.
He opens and shuts his mouth a few times, looking for an argument, before slumping away muttering something to himself. As soon as we finish our tents, we have to hang our bear bags. They were to be filled with food and other smellables that might attract some furry friends. There's a very low likelihood of bears where we're camping, but it's a good practice nonetheless. Sam and his tent mate, who we'll call Pip, have taken a long time to get set up, so they're fashionably late as we fill our bags. Hanging the bear bags was a chore. We have to throw 2 ropes over a tree branch. It has to be at least 10 meters up, and you gotta tie the bags together. You gotta hoist them in the air and secure them on 2 lines on different trees. Sam is desperate to demonstrate his prowess to my lady in the wilderness. He offers to throw one of the ropes. Jamie, echoing our sympathies, is in no mood for shenanigans that would probably keep everyone awake. In the dark, it's a challenge to hang the bags, but not impossible. After we finish, Jamie tells everyone,
Get some sleep, everyone. We'll be waking up early tomorrow morning.
Sam is not pleased.
Wait, Jamie, aren't we going to have a campfire?
Sam, it's almost midnight. Go to bed.
What about food? I'm hungry.
We aren't eating tonight, Sam. You should have had dinner before we left. That was in the email. Don't worry. We'll have breakfast in the morning.
Sam fills another cup of wine in protest, but everyone else has already turned in. I snuggle down into my sleeping bag, and I was dreading the next day. It seemed that I closed my eyes for less than a few seconds when it was light inside. I'm not sure what time it is, but I let the air out of my sleeping pad and crawl out of my bag. I throw on clothes and stuff everything into its sack. I peek out into the camp. I'm one of the first ones to awake. So I rouse my tent mates and we start to break down the tent. We have a long enough trek today, and I don't want to think about how much longer it's going to take to tow Sam like a river barge. After taking down our tent and splitting up its parts, the bear bags come down, and we spill our contents on the ground like Lannister blood. I find breakfast and dinner to carry, which I shove into my bag. By now, almost everyone is awake. They're involved in taking down their tents, or helping other people speed the process. Pip approaches Jamie.
Sam won't get up.
He what?
He won't get out of his sleeping bag. He told me to piss off when I tried to wake him up.
Jamie and Pip hurry to Sam's lair. Jamie yells through the tent wall.
Get up, Sam. Everyone else is getting ready.
Dude, it's not even light outside. Go away. I'm still sore from yesterday.
Jamie has run out of patience with him. He unstakes the fly and rips off the top. I can't see Sam in his splendor, but I imagine his facial expression is something between Smeagol's fear and Gollum's anger. John and I are sitting on the ground, eating our breakfast and trail mix, plus this freeze-dried cardboard, when Sam emerges from hibernation. He and Pip dismantle the tent, and they get ready to go, with everyone staring on. As we start our trek, Sam tries to keep pace with me, and he starts asking,
How's your feet not hurting? With those old beat-up boots like that?
They're broken in.
What does that even mean?
Sam, just leave me alone right now, okay?
We hike on at a respectable pace, about 2 kilometers, until Sam starts begging for a break. While we stand, John shows me his new toy. He showed me a stick pin with the ends cut off. He pulls it from his pocket, pulls out a plastic BB, and pops it in his mouth. He concealed the tube in his fist. He fires a pellet back at Pip's shoulder with a quiet. It doesn't hurt. In fact, it's barely perceptible. It's like a small raindrop. It's just enough to make someone turn around, scratch uncertainly, and glance to see if someone tapped them, then disregard it as nothing. If you're the covert culprit of this spectacle, it's hilarious. He pelts him a few more times before setting his sight on Sam. He crams a small handful of pellets into his cheek. He lands a hit on Sam's lower leg. Sam scrambles at it. He brushes his skin with his foot. He examines the ground. The majority of our morning hike is an uphill climb. The elevation change is gradual, but Sam acts like he's marching the Trail of Tears, if the tears are saturated in high fructose corn syrup. Finally, we cross a small stream. We take the opportunity to refill our water, pumping through a filter into our bottles, and we drop in iodine tablets. I don't carry bottles, though I just have a Camelback. and another separate bladder, which is significantly awkward to feel with a pump designed to screw onto the bottle. John holds the bladder steady when I pump, occasionally splashing it on me. Sam is not to be outdone by the chivalry though. He rushes to my aid. He grabs the other side of the bladder while I pump, and valiantly prevents any sloshing tomfoolery from John. Soon, Sam realizes that letting the fragile milady do all the work was unacceptable. He risks the pump from my hand, leaving me standing like Tom Sawyer while he slowly pumps water. Of course, pumping these 3 liters of water through a filter is actually a lot of work, and Sam takes frequent breaks. He wiggles his arms like a wet spaghetti noodle. I try to talk him into giving me the pump, but the chivalry is just too strong with this one. Finally, Jamie saves the day.
Sam, is that your camel?
No, it's Lady Saber's.
Okay, but you need to fill up your own containers. We've got another filter over here. I think Lady Saber can handle her own water pump.
I'm trying to be helpful, Jamie.
That's great, Sam, but we gotta get going. Come fill up.
Already have.
No, you haven't.
How do you know that?
Because I've been watching you. I think you've drained your camel and at least one of those water bottles.
Well, that's creepy as Jamie.
Jamie shrugs.
It's my job. Now, give Lady Saber the pump and fill up your own water bottle. We're all waiting on you.
Sam shifts uncomfortably.
I haven't emptied my camels.
Well, you haven't filled them up either. Come on, Sam.
I don't want to water it down.
This catches everyone's attention.
What are you talking about?
Jamie pauses.
Sam, show me what's in your containers.
Sam refuses repeatedly until Jamie snatches one of Sam's bottles from the side pocket of his pouch, and he unscrews the lid.
Is this soda? Jesus, Sam. Is that what's in your camel too?
No, it's just sweet tea.
At that, the adults play the safety card. They talk Sam into pouring out the beetus juice and filling it up with water. The rest of the group watches in stunned silence as Sam pours out the libations into the stream. After replacing the fizzy sugar syrup with water, Sam's pace improves. Instead of a crawl, we hike more at a tired trudge. While the original plan was to eat lunch while fishing, we're so far behind that we have to walk while we eat. We take about 5 minutes on the rocky clearing to admire the view, which is truly spectacular. Though I don't remember it quite vividly, as I do Sam's comment.
This is kind of lame, huh?
No, I actually think it's pretty.
Yeah, me too. I'm just talking about, the hike uphill.
Oh.
While hiking uphill sucks, I'm in no hurry for Sam to think that his wooing attempts are even remotely successful. It's afternoon by the time we crest the ridge and we begin our downhill descent. While we had planned to be well into our fishing now, we've only covered about 8 kilometers in 5 hours. I think most species of rock moves faster. Thankfully, downhill speeds us up, and we cover the remaining kilometer in just under 2 hours. Everyone is relieved to finally be at the fishing place. One of our adult leaders is the owner of the property, so she wastes no time jumping into her talk. Things are fine until she asks,
Who here's 16 or older?
Most hands, including mine and Sam's, go up.
Alright, if you're over 16, I'll need to see a fishing license, and then we should be good to go.
We dip into our packs to get our slips of paper. John and I have gotten ours a week before, as part of our greater study of the wild creatures of Walmart. When my lady of the fish reaches Sam, things go off the rails, like a freight train sideswiping a children's hospital.
Do you have a fishing license?
I forgot.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy, but I can't let you fish without a license.
But don't you, own the land?
Well, yeah, but I don't own the fish.
I didn't know I needed one.
I'm a little fuzzy on the details, but I think that's the same way that Jesus turned water into wine.
There was an email sent out to everyone. Did you read it?
No, my mom did. She didn't tell me.
Well, your mom isn't on this trip, buddy. That's your responsibility. I'm really sorry, but there's nothing I can do about it.
We get fishing poles and bait them while Sam stews in the grass. John and I find a shady spot on the riverbank. I don't have the patience for fishing, so John lets me try the pellet tube thing. The pellets are biodegradable, so I don't feel bad about it landing in the river. I'm a decent shot, but I'm no good at keeping a straight face, nor hiding the tube in my fist. Jamie, my first target, caught on pretty quick and returned fire with tiny river rocks. After about an hour of catching nothing, John became convinced that crickets would serve as better bait. Those little things aren't easy to catch, but when I get a hold of one, I drop it down the back of his t-shirt. During all this time, Sam is either wandering between different people or sitting on the ground like an angry bump on a spiteful pickle. Eventually, he does make his way over to John and I, plopping down next to me with a thud that tips the Richter scale. I do not have much tolerance for a one-sided conversation about
Stupid of a mom didn't tell me.
So John and I cross to the other side of the river. The water is ankle deep, but our boots are waterproof. From the other side of the moat, we see Sam fee-fi-fo-fumming back and forth. He's doing this along his side of the bank. He keeps busy alienating everyone he talks to, with the same conversation topic, removing his fedora and punching into it a few times. The respite I get from Sam lasts a few precious hours, until it's time to cover the remaining distance to the campsite. We turn in our fishing gear and mount our packs. The remaining 2 kilometers are behind us before sunset, and we set up our camp. For dinner, we fill an enormous pot of water and balance it precariously atop my tiny camp stove. While the water turns to a boil, we dig out our dinner rations and eating utensils. I hadn't paid much attention to the dinner while I repacked it, but now I take a look at the package. Dehydrated spaghetti and Italian meatballs. Sam's sour mood brightens like a fluorescent bulb. It has to sit for a few minutes as the food cooks itself, and Sam looks like he's gonna jump out of his skin in excitement. Once it's ready, he dumps the whole thing onto his plate, and Jamie barely stops him.
That's the feed too, Sam. You and your tent mate. Plus, we gotta say grace.
Jamie asked me to lead the dinner prayer. Although the only ones I know are in Latin, Sam suffers through it, but it is contained with the euphoria of the noodly reward. After begrudgingly allowing Pip to cipher half of the dinner, Sam dives in face first. Suffering through a full day of exercise makes this feeding more obscene than usual. It's like shovel feeding a vacuum cleaner attached to a Vitamix blender. John and I eat straight out of the pouch with sporks to avoid the dirty plates, and we had to keep our eyes averted to maintain our appetite. The open mouth chew smack gulping is still almost too much for me. Eventually he does finish, and after the rest of us scarfed down our package of side items and cleaned our plates, we decided to build a fire. Sam is excited for that too. He scampers for his pack. He produces no less than 3 different fire starters, a flint, a box of matches, and a Zippo lighter. Jamie roosts to collect firewood and gets a dozen well-fed people to hunt for sticks. It's like herding feral cats with a feather duster. Half an hour later, we have a nice-sized fire pile. Our fire ring is a metal rim of an old truck tire. It's half buried in the ground. Jamie and John work hard to set up the structure, while Sam eagerly flicks his lighter open and closed.
Okay, Sam, you wanna light it? Go ahead.
Sam kneels with his lighter, hits the striker, and nothing. Sparks every time, but the flame never catches.
It's not working. I just got this stupid thing.
Is there fuel in it?
Of course there is. It's brand new.
Zippos don't come with fuel, Sam. Here, let me take a look.
Sam cradles his lighter like the last can of SpaghettiOs.
No way, dude. I know how to use it.
All right, let's see.
A minute or two of finagling, and Sam manages to pull apart the lighter, revealing the fuel reserves are bone dry, as a milady would be after the tip of a fedora. Pip gets a flame to catch with his lighter, and a few of us take turns breathing life into the embers. Soon a splendid fire is licking away. John and I lean our packs against a nearby tree as a makeshift sofa back. Oh hey, I've got a surprise for you. A John surprise is usually something along the lines of an exploding zucchini or a 2-headed frog, but he pulls out a Ziploc bag with some stuff in it. S'mores. I've never done these before, but I'm all about a toasted marshmallow. I get a twig from the fire pile, and I strip the bark off with a knife. I skewer the puffball, and I rotate it gently in the flames. John sets his on fire, and he blows it out only after it develops a black, ashy crust. I think it's gross. I let mine get golden brown and crispy. The graham crackers are crunched a little, and the chocolate is just melty enough to make a mess. We were able to eat 3 of them each, as it devolves into throwing crumbs at each other. I eventually can't stand to have melty goop on my hands anymore, so I lick 2 fingers and reach into my camp pack and grab a towel, but it's not where I usually keep it. My fingers close around something else, which I gingerly pulled out. It was my pocket Bible. My father has stuck it in one of the outside pockets. He must have shipped it like that. He read it to me as a little girl. It's pretty much one of the only things we have in common. There's a little note inside the front cover. The whole thing makes me teary-eyed and homesick. I tuck under John's arm and open to Luke, where my favorite parables are. Sam spies my 2,000-year-old cartoon and decides to enlighten my lady with his euphoric intelligence.
You know, the Bible has like thousands of contradictions in it.
I don't care, Sam.
Well, you should. I mean, you should understand what you believe, right?
I ignore him, but he still presses on.
Right?
While I'm seething, John steps in. Hey Sam, this fire's about to die.
So, throw some fucking wood on it.
No, that won't help it. It needs a special tool.
What? What kind of tool?
It's a left-handed wind shifter. I think it's over near the pile of crew gear. A few other people sitting around the fire is in on the joke, and they egg Sam on. I duck to hide my foolish grin. It's about this long, and it has a handle on one end, and this weird-looking thing on the other. Trust me, you'll know it when you see it.
Okay.
Tell you what, I'll give you a marshmallow if you find it. He who exalts himself shall be humbled. Sam jogs over a few paces away. He goes to the pile of crew gear. He shuffles around in the dim firelight, searching for a tool that doesn't exist.
What's it look like?
It's long and skinny, with a handle on the end. You'll know it when you see it. John lets fly a few pellets, while those of us still sitting around is trying not to crack. Even John lets a smile slip. Every 30 seconds or so, he'll fire a pellet towards Sam's shape.
Hey, are you guys like feeling like raindrops?
It's probably ticks, Sam.
Dicks?
Yep, little guys smell you and fall out of the trees. You should check yourself. Make sure you don't have any hanging on you, especially on your, equipment. How he keeps a straight face, I will never know. I shove another marshmallow into my mouth. That way I don't catch the giggles. None of this is more than standard new guy teasing, but most don't eat it up like a bag of Doritos. John tosses Sam a marshmallow, and soon everyone sitting around the fire is roasting one. John burns his as a sacrifice to the red god. I turn mine slowly, getting it crispy on the outside, and almost melty enough to fall up the stick. And I shove it in my mouth, and Sam starts to snicker.
Lady Saber, I bet that's not the only white sticky stuff you swallow.
He forces out a nervous chuckle. Pip has the stones to call him out.
Sam, that's nasty.
The perfect marshmallow turns to acid as it goes down, and John is about to speak up, but I start first. I squeeze John on the thigh, look straight at Sam and say,
Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right.
Then Sam evaporates, as everyone gives me 100% for being cool and witty. Okay, that's not what happened, but outside of my imagination at least, I considered it, before remembering rule number 1 of Neckbeards: do not feed their spank bank. Instead, I spill my guts out like the guy from Saving Private Ryan.
Take that back, Sam.
Why?
Because it's gross and it's not funny. Take it back.
It was just a joke. Get over it.
No, it's not a joke. It's repulsive, like you.
What?
I am so fed up with you, Sam. You follow me around and you ruin everything I enjoy doing. You insult me and you don't care how I feel about what you say.
It's not the venomous hellfire that I had imagined. It was just calm, even killed rage.
What are you even talking about? I'm nice to you. I wouldn't have even come if it wasn't for you.
I don't want you here, Sam. You're not nice to anyone. You're mean to your mother. You're mean to my boyfriend. I don't want to be your friend. Please, leave me alone.
My heart is crawling out of my throat, but he finally takes the hint. For a second, there's a thunderous silence. Sam stands clenching his fist, and he stalks back to the tent without a word. Pip breaks the ice, tossing a stick into the fire.
I hate that kid.
After another hour or so, the rest of us put out the fire, and we filter off to bed. Most of the adults are already asleep. As I snuggle down into my bag, I could hear Sam's voice carrying through the woods. The walls of the tent might seem snug and secure, but they are zero soundproofing. From the distance, it's hard to make out the words.
She's... I'm...
Pip's response is nothing more than a mumble.
But... trying nice to her.
Dude, just bed.
You think a good time?
Jamie's voice rings out clear as a bell.
Shut the hell up and go to bed.
The next day is unremarkable. Sam avoids eye contact with me and deliberately keeps his distance. We pack up and we hike the short distance back to our cars, and we return home right on time. Sam's mom waves to me and smiles, and they leave the church parking lot. That was mostly the end of my interactions with Sir Sam the Chivalrous. We didn't share any classes, and he stopped going out of his way to see me otherwise. Over the summer, we didn't speak or come into contact. Good riddance to our neckbeard ham planet. I want to give a special thanks to Kevin Wayne Hicks and my wife. It wouldn't have been as good without you. Thank you very much for joining me for this long edition of Sir Sam. It's the last one. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I should eventually make this into a compilation. It's probably going to be longer than the Wolfbeard one. Hope you guys enjoy it. It should be easy to upload, no matter how long it is, because I've got wonderful internet speed. Woohoo! I really enjoy this. It's almost surreal living out here, but I really like it. Well, until next time, you guys take care of yourselves. And remember, have fun with your failures, or they'll have fun with you.